So I'm doing today's video on sweeps, or as we say in karate, Ashi barai, or they say in Jiu-jitsu, Ashi barai. Typically, I don't like to make how-to videos because I think you need to learn the martial arts in person. The reason why I'm going through the basics and some advanced ways that we do the Ashi barai is so that you can start to really get through your head that there are no separate systems. Muay Thai, Karate, Taekwondo, Jiu-jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, Kozen Judo, whatever. They all have the exact same techniques. It's just what your teacher thought it was okay for you to learn, and therefore what you thought it was okay to pass on, and so on and so forth. There is no box for styles. Taekwondo people aren't just kickers. Karate guys aren't just punchers and kickers. Boxers aren't just boxers. But because of sports, because of everything like that, it got put that way. Anyway, I digress. You've heard me rant about that in several different videos if you've watched any of my videos. But the Ashi barai. Ashi means leg. People think it means foot sweep, or a lot of people think it means foot sweep. But Ashi doesn't mean foot. Kutsu means foot. Hiza means knee. Ashi just means leg. The same way that I could say my arm hurts and I'm talking about my hand, well, it's still part of my arm, right? So anyway, think of it as leg sweep or leg reap, something like that. But when I go to do it, there are grappling versions and there are striking versions. And I'd like to go over both today. Another important factor you've probably heard me talk about, and you've probably heard a lot of judo or jiu-jitsu people talk about, is going to be kazushi. Kazushi is basically to disbalance, and it's really a foundational principle for almost everything on the planet, not just martial arts. But if I want to sweep somebody, I need them to take some weight off their foot. If I want them to take weight off their foot, the traditional manner is people will push the person out of their foot or they will pull them out of their foot. Now, when I go one way, they'll go the other. I go one way, they'll go the other. This is going to cause kazushi, a disbalance. Yeah, I might push somebody back and sweep their foot, but that's going to be a real amateur person. Somebody that's just like a thing of noodles. They're not even hard to fight with. Most people, you're going to pull them to one corner, they're going to go to the other corner, so on and so forth. So kazushi is a fundamental principle. Now, as we sweep and do kazushi, I'm going to be holding my opponent standing in a judo, wrestling, whatever stance you want to call it. I could be standing from my feet in more of a kibadachi. I could be standing 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. It depends on how you prefer to do it. Some people like to pull down like a wrestler. Some people like to stand up and play more like judo. Whatever. The main point right here is, again, I'm going to pull them back, and as they go the other direction, I'm going to follow them, hook behind their foot, and sweep. Now, I might push them forward, and as they come back into me, then I can take them off to the corner and just pull them into whatever throw I want. But that's that kazushi, that forwards, that backwards, that clipping the foot one way or the other. Now, how am I clipping the foot? So let's take a minute here to look at my ugly foot. So when we sweep, we're not going necessarily this way or that way. We usually want to go to the outer corners, or we possibly want to go forward. But when you go forward, look, you're pushing into my toes. My toes are going to help me grip. If you push me backward, you're pushing into my heel. My heel's going to dig in. I want to go to those corners. Sideways is okay, but you still got to kind of deal with somebody kind of rooting their foot down there. So if you imagine this is our person's foot right here. I'm going to take my foot. Now, in the nice version, I'm going to use the bottom of my foot, and I'm going to kind of monkey grip behind their heel and pull them in. That's the nice way to go. I kind of monkey grip behind them, and I pull them in, using the flat part of my foot. That also helps me kind of grab them. The same way as if I took my hand and cupped it behind somebody's ankle and I pulled, right? So that's the idea I want to think. You can even use like a little ball or something like that and just practice cupping, practice taking it from side to side. Again, you notice I'm pulling it into a corner. I don't pull it towards its toes, and I don't push it towards its heel. I pull it towards a corner. Now that's the basic idea for sweeping them in judo or jiu-jitsu or whatnot, holding on to them. Again, this whole what style, who style, where style. I mean, we could go into Sui Jiao or several other Chinese systems and talk about that, or Mongolian or whatever, right? So again, I'm off topic. So I pull, they go back, I sweep. I push, they come forward, I sweep. I'm just taking them out of whatever stance they're in so the weight goes over to one other place. If I take one of these punching bags that we have and I push it, and you might be saying, Matt, you're really beating this point, but look, it bounces back and forth. That's how to get the thing to be thrown. It's hard to push this way, but if I let it come back, it's easy to come back. Well, I had a friend of mine who's a full contact guy say this, and I thought it was a beautiful thing to say. Is he said that there is no such thing as a leg sweep, just round kicks. So he would say you just kick straight into their ankle with your shin bone, right? You don't hook them with your ankle, you don't hook them with your foot, you just kick them with your shin straight down there at their ankle to take them. That's pretty harsh. You don't want to do that in your school or with your friends, but it's not a bad idea if you really got to put somebody down. Where does the kazushi come from? Glad you asked. Well, the kazushi, remember the push and the pull? That is a push straight through their face with my hand. If they don't move, punch them in the face. Give them some kazushi right in their nose. But if they do move, at least after the first time you bop them or try to bop them, they're going to start moving back like that every time. And every time they do, at least for a moment, they're taking weight off that front hoof. Now when that happens, that's when you sweep that. Okay? Or other ways they use kazushi is they will pull somebody off to the angle, and as they're stepping around, they'll catch the foot and they'll hook them. Same thing can be said here with striking. As I move around, the other guy's moving around, and I sweep the foot with my front foot. Am I being very detailed on how you can do this? Do I have a partner with me to show you how I can do this? No. Because again, I'm not here trying to teach you a technique that you can run off and do poorly. I'm trying to give you some concepts on Ashi barai. Now there's Ashi garami, there's all kinds of other techniques. There's koichigeri, oichigeri, many other leg hooking techniques that people use very popularly now in sport grappling and jiu-jitsu and everything like that. It's just a sweep where you coil your leg around their leg. It's still a leg sweep. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't pick it up so much, but the point is that kazushi. The point is blocking that foot. The point is taking them in that direction that they have no balance. Something to think about. If you want to learn more about it or if you want to work more on it, we teach MMA, we teach karate, we teach jiu-jitsu, we teach all that stuff, kung fu, tai chi, long fist, so we can show you all that stuff in one manner or another. Remember, it's not what you're learning as far as the name, it's what you're learning as far as what you're learning. So, pick a style, pick a teacher that you're happy with, pick a place you're happy with. Let yourself know, hey, this works or this doesn't work, or I just want just what works for me. I don't want all that bowing and stuff. Okay, don't go to that place. Well, I want to learn actually how the martial arts go. Well, you should go to that place where they have more manners, discipline, and skill. It's up to you. Doesn't matter where you train. Just enjoy yourself and have a good day. SpringfieldKarateandFitness.com